Clutch Trucker is filmed before a reluctant furry studio audience. And Clutch Trucker now comes with fluoride. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks again for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Let's see, finally over here in Lewiston, Idaho, parked at a stinker station. That's the name of it, believe it or not. They even have a logo with a little skunk. You can buy shirts with a little skunk on it. They have little padded coolers with a little skunk on it. They're all over Idaho, stinker stations. But anyway, before I got this load, and I was coming back from my load where I delivered to a couple of Costco's up on that peninsula there, west of Seattle, I had to come back across the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. And it's kind of a cool bridge, so I had my dash cam going and saved the video on that and thought, well, hey, let's do a quick, kind of a quick time, you know, what do you call it? Time lapse of the going across the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. So here it is. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, so after doing my delivery today in Walla, Washington, then I was walking back around the truck before I left there. I look at the trailer and I noticed my mid-trailer light, that's a marker light and also a left turn signal light, appears to be out. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. So I went back up, I turned the turn signal on and looked at it again. The turn signal part works. You know, if you're familiar with those kind of bulbs and those things, they have two filaments in them. One of them is the marker light. The second one is the brighter one that flashes only when you need your turn signals. Well, you know, they're bulbs. They're going to wear out. And I think that was just a regular bulb in that one. And I need a specific type of side marker light, and they happen to have it here. I've noticed that TAs and Petros never have exactly what I need. You're going to say, well, I've seen that kind of light in TAs and Petros all the time. You see one that looks similar to this, but it doesn't have the holes right here and right there on the light that I need, because I need to reaffix this with just a couple of bolts, okay? So I went to go try to replace the light Monday after my last delivery in Hamilton, Montana, and no, I had the wrong light. I had the wrong one. It wasn't long enough, so the bolts wouldn't match up. But I did realize the light that was in there was an oval shape, and also you can find inside the TAs and Petros one of these things. It's a gasket or a grommet. I would call it more of a gasket. Okay, but this is what it looks like. Big rubber piece, all right, that'll fit in the opening so I don't have to use the two holes for the bolts to go in, because I can't find a light that seems to match that size. I can find a light like this without any holes in it, but it requires, the grommet or gasket, whatever you want to call it. Now, in addition to the grommet that fit in the oval thing and the new LED light that's going to go in there, it has a different type of plug in the back. If you can see on there, okay, it's kind of covered up by the masking tape. So they pull that up. See, it's got those three little kind of offset things in there. Now, the type of plug that went into the back of the current light I had was just straight across 1, 2, 3 posts, kind of more like what you'd have on a marker light or headlight bulb or something on your truck. Okay, so I found inside the TA they at least did have the adapter plugs that go from the plug I have to this type of plug so I can use this light. So that's what I did first. I, you know, put the new light in, mounted it up on there, plugged it in, and then the marker light section of it still does not work, only the turn signal section does work, which means wiring issue. So at that point, then I had to use the old school method, the quick and dirty method of fixing a wiring problem like that. Cut the old plug off and go back up in it, and I found, sure enough, that center wire that was going into that plug had been frayed and broken. The reason being is that the back of that plug was hitting the skirt on the trailer, and it was rubbing on that. and that rubbing wore that center wire down to nothing, and it broke apart. So I had to then go up beyond that on the wire, cut off the insulation, do my fix with the shrink tubing. I went inside, back to inside, and said, okay, I'm going to turn in this plug that has the plug on this end and the plug on this end to just the plug I need to go into this light with just the bare wires on the other end. So I could do the old school kind of fix of just putting the shrink tubing on. You do it like the bread tie twist, shrink tubing back over, take the torch, heat it up, boom, you got a waterproof kind of fix on that. That worked. It just, that whole process took much longer than I thought, and it was kind of dark this morning anyway, so I really didn't get any good video on that. So I now want a matching one for my other side of the trailer, and I want to get the matching LED one too. And the other side, both the marker and the turn signal work. So I needed the plug I originally bought at the TA in Missoula this morning, and once I got here to the Seattle East or North Bend TA, I found the light, I found the grommet, but guess what? Of course, they didn't have the plug with the one end I need to plug in from the one plug I have into this 3-plug thing. Of course they didn't have it. So I used my Ultra One points to buy this grommet and this light, because that was about 36 bucks. And that way I didn't have to pay cash for that, so at least I can get now matching lights on each side of the trailer. I'm kind of an anal freaking guy. I want them to match. I'm sorry, I want them to match. And I want them both to be new. And now, next time I go replace them, it'll be easier. So now, the rest of this video will be me taking the one off the other side off, which is held in by rivets. I don't know what they were thinking when they put those on. Good news is, I get to take a screwdriver and just kind of bust that one out of there. It's always fun to break stuff, isn't it? So, when I have daylight and time again, then we're going to do the other side, and I can show you that fix and how easy it is just to plug them in with the right adapter plug and into that grommet thing and all that. And then that way, that'll keep that side from getting frayed against the skirt, which happened on my driver's side of the trailer. Okay, so here I am parked in Okawville, Illinois, briefly here while I can try to do this repair. Got some daylight, it's not too cold out here, and it's not raining or snowing. That's been hard to come by lately. All right, so there are all my pieces. Got the new light, the plug adapter, and the grommet. Okay, as I was saying, this is the one I tried to repair on the other side, and now I want it to match on my right side of my trailer. I can back up a little bit, you can see. You can see, here's what had happened last time. Back there, which you can't see, the plug is mashed up against the trailer skirt right here. And that's what made the plug go bad on the other side. This one still works, so I'm going to replace it now before it goes bad. It's just kind of the way the plug is coming out of this thing now that makes that wire go bad. So I'm going to go ahead and replace it. And like I said, this is held on by rivets. Why? I don't know. But it means I gotta bust it out. Okay, there you can see I busted it out of there using pliers and screwdriver and so forth. Alright, so there's the plug, like I said. Straight plug with the 3 pins. So we're going to go ahead and undo that. Okay, I already loosened it up with a screwdriver. Now see, it just comes right off. So here's the plug we have left. And now our adapter plug should work from this one to the plug that works for the new light. Down there. Alright, so here's our adapter plug. You see it's got the 3 posts in there. And then it's got this kind of 3 posts, but kind of at weird angles on the other end to go into the new light. So, this plug right here, there it is, right there. Okay, new plug's in place on that end. Now we'll just plug this in into the light to make sure it works. Okay, so there you can see the new light plugged in with the plug adapter. From that plug to that plug is working. You can see both the turn signal and the marker light part of it are working. And this will now match my one on the other side. Now we'll get the grommet fixed around it, and we'll get this up in place in that little hanger. Okay, grommet is in place around the new light, which is still working, and this will keep that plug from rubbing up against the skirt, which made the other side go bad, and hopefully won't keep this one from going bad. Then if I need to replace this light again, I'll just have the right plug, and I just need to stick it into this same grommet right here, which fits into this oval-shaped hanger underneath the trailer. Okay, so voila, there is the light, and its grommet and its hanger beneath the rail of the trailer. Okay, so that's what I was attempting to do the first time, was just use the adapter plug and replace the light, but then it ended up being a wiring issue, which was a lot more hassle, blah, 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 blah. But then I was able to show you how easy it is to replace on the other side. Normally you don't have to bust your old light out. For some reason, when they redid this trailer, they used those rivets to hold them in. But anyway, I got to break stuff, so that was kind of fun. So you saw how easy that was then to put the adapter plug on, put the new light in, put the grommet in, and now it's in place. So if that light goes out again, it'll be really easy to replace. Right, Rusty? You just see the excitement and the acknowledgement on his face. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Finally, over a week later, this video is now done. Hey, I even got a haircut. How about that? Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. Please ring that bell. Sniff the magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch out.